New Mexico speed goats, flat, open, a real proving ground for the MCRs.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Another perfect shot. Welcome back, folks. This week, Blondie and I are kicking off the season with our good friend Larry Ellis in New Mexico chasing some speed goats. 7 LPRC is ready to go. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Great Horizon Ranch, Rack 'em Up Roasted Feeds, and Borden Accuracy.
So this New Mexico antelope hunt is our first hunt of the year. And our good friend Larry Ellis, EWA Outfitting, he's got a personal lease out there and he's invited us to come hunt with him. So I absolutely said yes. And so Denise and I make a plan. We got our 7 LPRC trued out to 1,000 yards because we're anticipating a possible really long shot. And we're on our way 25 hours to New Mexico. New Mexico is a long, long drive from Doe Run, Georgia. With everything packed, all the camera equipment, all the guns and everything, it's a long trip. So we made the 25-hour drive out there. Larry's saying he's seeing goats all over the place, so our anticipation for this hunt is very high.
One of these, whichever one looks the best.
That looks better because you got black.
That one?
Yeah, you got black in there.
Okay.
Yep. You know these people that make these guns?
I've heard they're pretty good.
Well, we're on our way to meet our buddy Larry. We hadn't hunted with Larry in a year or so, and he says he's got some real big goats out here. So we're on the very first New Mexico antelope season. It's August the 26th, so we're going to hunt the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And Larry's been out here doing some scouting. He spotted some real big goats. Right now the wind's calm, so maybe we can find a couple big goats way out there this morning right off the bat and shoot with no wind. Otherwise it's going to get windy later on in the day and we'll be pulling the Kestrel and the Sig out. But antelope hunting in New Mexico, first day, here we go. So this is a big ranch. It's 60,000 acres. So to set out on foot and try to spot and stalk is gonna be a very hard proposition. So we've decided that we're gonna ride some of these roads. We can see about a mile in every direction and try to find some of these speed goats and make a stalk and get within range of the MCRs. We're ready to go. We got the guns all trued and Denise is up first, as usual.
It's been a lot of years since I've hunted an antelope. Did that years and years ago back in Wyoming. It's a lot of fun. These critters have eyes like crazy, so most of the time you're looking at their backside while they're running away. So it's real tricky trying to stalk up on an antelope. Day one, and I'm up first. And we've got 60,000 acres that we can cover and try to find a really good antelope on. And driving around and spotted one that looked like he could be a really, really nice antelope. So we get out and I had to cover a lot of ground to get to a vantage point that I felt comfortable at that distance, and to get a better look at him to make sure he was an antelope that we wanted to take. And by the time we made that stalk, it takes me a lot longer than it does Allan. Antelope had moved on. Like I said, they've got great eyes and they don't just normally stand around and wait on you.
That's end of rodeo number 1. We just walked about, I don't know, 2 miles. And so then we almost had a shot of 750. Now I think they're 1,750 after about 3 more minutes. So we're gonna go back to the truck, see if we can get, he was a real good buck. I got a good look at him just then. He's got good cutters. He's probably 14, 15 inches long. He's a real good goat. So
Day 1, first stalk, no antelope. But we've got a lot of ground to cover, so we set off again.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
So later on that day, and it was getting really warm, spotted another really nice antelope. Didn't have as long a stalk to make, but the mirage had gotten really bad. But I got out, made it close enough to where I felt comfortable. He was a little over 400 yards, sat down behind the Leah photo, and then it was just a waiting game between me and the cameraman to be ready. So what I had was a really nice antelope at over 400 yards, horrible mirage that was staring straight at me, quartered hard to me, and he was not moving. Of all the times for an antelope to decide to be still, this was not the best time. And he would not turn, but I felt 100% comfortable making that shot. I was steady, I had all the confidence in the world in my rifle, took the shot, and he went straight down. Is he down?
good shot. Great shot, baby. He's
Oh,
down.
thank you.
He reared
Man.
up, he took 2 steps and fell over. I heard that bullet hit. That's some good shooting.
I see belly. I see belly.
We shot
Man.
180 grain Hornady ELDM out of this 7 LPRC at about 3180. And we watched this goat for a while and he just wouldn't turn, so we felt good with the penetration of this M that it do the job. And 412 yards, it just smoked it. Perfect shot.
Had a heck of a morning trying to get on one,
Yeah,
and
we let one get away earlier, but this one ain't get away.
I was afraid my day was done.
Yeah.
Takes a bit to get down to this antelope because he was over 400 yards, but man, it was amazing. These animals are so beautiful. Like I said, it had been a long time since I'd hunted these creatures, and their colors are just beautiful. They're so different than a whitetail, which is what we mostly hunt. Man, what a cool old black-faced buck. Oh my goodness. The only other antelope I've killed must have been a pretty young antelope because this one's got these little pearl tips on the end of his horns. That's really cool.
He's laid out, he's real cool. So we're hunting out here in New Mexico on our lease with a good couple of friends of ours, and Denise hadn't hunted goats in a long time, so she was up first, and this guy just stood there too long. She made a perfect frontal shot on him at 412 yards, and he reared up and went down in his tracks. So just great shooting.
Yes,
shooting
sir.
off the Leah photo.
I love that Leah photo. Man, I love it.
She took it with this 7 LPRC, and it's got a Borden action Brooks barrel. It's got our Peak 2.0 stock. Got a Zeiss 4.5 to 25 by 50 on there, and we dialed up 3.66 minutes and held a half-minute left, and she made a perfect shot. So 180 grain Hornady ELDM.
Killer.
About 3,180 feet a second was just the right amount of force for this antelope. So great shooting, baby.
Thank you.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Good shot. My turn now.
Yes, you're
Ready to
up.
go?
Yes, sir.
Throw him in the truck. Let's go.
Well, when I got through talking about how pretty this goat was, Allan is chomping at the bits to let's get back in the truck and head out for his turn. He's up.
Denise's goat's down, now it's my turn. We get back in the truck, we move to another location that Larry's seen a lot of goats the previous days. We spot some goats out there, well out of range. We make a plan to get within shooting range for the MCRs.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Atlas Development Group, Brooks Barrels, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
Denise's goat's down, we get back in the truck, we move to another location that Larry's seen a lot of goats the previous days. We spot some goats out there, well out of range. We make a plan to get within shooting range for the MCRs. Fortunately, we've got a little bit of hill for us to get within range on. We get behind it, we get up on top of it. My antelope is with a doe. As soon as he clears, he's just a little over 500 yards. I wait for him to get broadside. Get a wind reading. I think I'm holding about a minute and a half left. Squeeze the trigger of that 7 LPRC. That 180 green Hornady goes down there at around 3,200 feet a second.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about ethical hunting shots. What do you think an ethical hunting shot is?
In our long-range hunting and shooting school, we define an ethical hunting shot as a shot that is taken with 100% expectation of a one-shot clean kill. If you don't have that confidence when you take the shot, you don't take the shot, or we would call that an unethical shot. What's your longest shot?
Last year on All Dad, 690.
All right, when you got down on that shot, did you think 100% that was going to be a dead audad?
I did. I knew my data, I knew my rangefinder, I knew my rifle, so I had a good wind and pulled the trigger.
And so you made a 100% ethical shot. Three things that you got to have an ethical shot. First of all, you got to have a tack driving rifle. A half MOA or better rifle like all of our rifles are, you got to have that with good ammunition. Secondly, for long shots, and in the school, we define long shots anything over 500 yards because there's a lot of things that start happening over 500 yards. The world doesn't stand still while you're shooting when at 500 yards or better. You got to have some training, and that's what we do in our True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School. The last thing is an ethical shot distance is not going to be the same for the same person with the same rifle with the same training every day. If you get out there on a particular day, and if I get out there on a day when I got a 2-mile-an-hour wind that's constant and I got an elk at 1,100 yards, he's dead. If I get out there on a day when I've got, say, a 7 to 25-mile-an-hour swirling wind, I'm not taking that shot because we all know the effects of wind, and getting the wind call right on that are pretty iffy. So I'm not going to be 100% sure I can make that shot, so I'm not going to take that shot. So taking an ethical shot is what we're all about. You got to have a great rifle, you got to have some training, and then you got to have a good day and a big animal.
That's the main part.
And that's our True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by Allan and Kyle and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Leo Photo USA, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Real Texas barbecue.
As soon as he clears, he's just a little over 500 yards. I wait for him to get broadside. Goes down on front knees. 30 yards later, I have my trophy speed goat on the ground. Got him. I didn't think I was gonna like this much. I've killed a few. It's been a while. I love this. This is fun. That one wasn't cooperating a whole lot. And he wouldn't stop but just a split second, so anyhow. 7 PRC, 180 grain M. M's look like they're doing pretty good so far. What you think? What y'all think? He probably had walked out to 500. I held just a nudge higher on him, and I gave him a little more wind. The Kestrel said 6 here. He looked 10 through that valley, so I gave him a minute right, and I think we hit him just right, because we hit him good enough because he's dead. So there you go. After the shot, I can't wait to get to my goat. I hadn't hunted these in several years, and just they're beautiful animals. So I walk up on the goat. He's crashed into a cholla. Perfect heart shot, and I couldn't be happier with the hunt and the goat, and my friend Larry Ellis letting us hunt out here on his lease. Boy, this is what you come out here for. Look at how he curls down. Got good cutters and everything. He's a nice goat, isn't he? Well, we're out here hunting in New Mexico, and it's opening day, August the 26th, and Denise already made a perfect shot on hers, and I made a pretty good heart shot on this one. He was where he stopped. He was probably a nudge over 500, and I had a dial up on him. He was laying down for the longest time, and his doe got up, and then he got behind some chollas, and when he came back out, he's a little further away, but he didn't stop but just a second, and put a good shot on him. He ran about 15 yards and ran into this cholla right here. So what a great antelope. I hadn't done this in many years, and just forgot how much fun it was. That M, I'm starting to like that M. We shot 2 antelope, and they hadn't run more than 16 yards total. Denise's ran 1 yard, mine ran 15, so she's winning. What a great animal. That's why we make these guns. So a 500-yard shot's a chip shot. For this hunt, we decided on our 7 LPRC, which is 300 PRC neck down to 7mm. We chose 180 grain Hornady ELDM bullets, and we had them going just under 3,200 feet a second, because we knew we were subject to have some really long shots out here. The scope that we chose for this to go on our 7 LPRC was a Zeiss S3 and a 4.5 to 25. Got tons of elevation available in it, so if we had to make one of those long shots, it was up for the task. So one of our good customers is with us, and he's been riding around watching Denise and I shoot antelope, and he and our camera guy Rigsby have gotten to be pretty good friends back there, and he decides he wants to let Rigsby shoot a goat as well. Rigsby got his first antelope today. Denise and I, she shot a big one, and then I shot a dink like I always do because I wanted to make her feel good, and then Rigsby shot this really good antelope. We decided Denny decided he wanted Rigsby to shoot a antelope, so we saw this one, and we made a long stalk on him. We probably went, what, 3/4 of a mile? It was a ways. He kept going away from us, and he finally, when we plopped down, we had a little dip in the fence, and he was 365 yards, and we dialed him up, and Rigsby put it on him, boy. Kind of real hard quarter too, We didn't have much. The wind was blowing almost right at us. I just told him to hold right on the neckline, and boy, you put it on. Good job. Good job.
Incredible. Thank you guys.
And he ran about 8 steps. So
for all this. Thank you, Mr. Denny, Mr. Allen.
Mr. Denny first.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All I did was just get you up there and get you on the antelope.
I'm not normally the guy that shoots, so this is different for me.
Well, our first hunt of the season, Allan and I both had great success, and now we're looking forward to a great whitetail season. Come along with us.